and welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of Hashin' It Out with Paul Hash. I'm Paul Hash, and this is the show where I ask the questions everybody forgot to ask. Today's guest is the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osborne. So let's hop aboard the crazy train and take a look inside the diary of the madman known as Ozzy Osborne. You and your mother have always been very close. You did something very special for her on Mother's Day. Tell me about that.
Me playing my first Black Sabbath album to my mum, where it starts off with bells chiming and howling wolves in the background. She must have thought I was mad or something.
The inspiration for the name Black Sabbath came from a movie title that was showing at your local theater at the time. But at that same theater, they were also showing the Aristocats. Why didn't you have a band dressed like cats and call yourself the Aristocats?
We decided, wouldn't it be a good idea to incorporate like a horror theme to music, and it just developed like that. Purely because the rehearsal place where we were rehearsing was across the road from a movie house.
Do you regret pissing off millions of Americans for writing a song so violent it actually started the Vietnam War?
When the Vietnam War was going on, we didn't have a clue what it was, the connotations were to the Americans, because like America was like a million miles away to us, you know.
I see when you first came to America, it was to be Florence Ballard's replacement in the Supremes. Was that well received?
I remember when the first time I went to America, I was like astounded at the reaction, you know. I mean, it was just literally overnight success, you know. And like,
when Black Sabbath first toured the United States, you smoked so much pot that you became confused and got lost. You were found 3 days later by a group of Navajos while you were wandering in the desert, babbling incoherently. Did you think it was over?
My separation from Sabbath, I thought it was all over for me. I thought, you know, I was probably end up back in a factory in Birmingham.
I see you've blamed bad management and excessive drinking as the main reason that Black Sabbath was not inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Did this upset you?
I was very upset, actually, but I was very hurt because we'd been through a lot of ups and downs together. We'd been ripped off by managers, we'd been screwed, and we were just like a bunch of kids drunk all the time, you know.
Before you settled upon such phenomenal talents such as Randy Rhoads and Tommy Aldridge, you made that all too common mistake of auditioning nothing but Bavarian polka bands. Can you explain?
After leaving Black Sabbath, I'd never ever auditioned anyone in my life. Because Sabbath just formed, we were mates, and so I didn't even know how to go about auditioning. Sharon would say to me, "Turn up at so and so, and we've got to listen to a bunch of guys playing," and I'd be all embarrassed, saying, "Like this, you know, I don't even know what I'm listening for," you know.
Not long after you were fired from Black Sabbath, you received a phone call that would change your life forever. Do you remember where you were when you first heard the news of CBS's cancellation of Match Game 79?
So I was in my apartment, because after leaving Black Sabbath, I just locked myself away for 3 months in this apartment, just getting drunk every day.
You were recently spotted having lunch with Ryan Seacrest. What are your thoughts on him and his career?
It's really funny that a funny feeling came to. I always remember feeling that. When I very first met him, I thought, well, this guy's ain't gonna be around for a long time, you know.
It's no secret that you are a long-time admirer of Foghorn Leghorn. What sort of impact has he made on your life?
Because he was a very special guy, and I feel that, you know, God puts us on this earth to do some things, and we all meet for a purpose, and he was one of the people that passed through my life that will remain in my heart forever.
Let's talk about the incident a few years back when you were in San Antonio, Texas. You were actually arrested for biting the head off the statue of Davy Crockett. What inspired that?
I've had a reputation for the occasional tipple now and again, you know. I was quite partial to the occasional vat of alcohol.
Ozzy, you made the news a few years back at your local PetSmart, where you were making a personal appearance. They were holding an Adopt a Ferret event. How did that go so badly?
I was just drunk as a monkey, threw one up in the air and bit the head off the other one, threw it on the table, and they just banned me from the building. And it's only in the last 3 years they've allowed me back in the building.
Thanks for joining me again on another episode of Hashing It Out with Paul Hash, the show where I ask the questions everybody forgot to ask. Even I, Paul Hash, forgot to ask the most important question. Why the hell am I still doing this? But since I am, be sure to tune in for the next episode where I will be interviewing the most hated man in world history. See you soon.
Excuse me.